are falling down here while I'm trying to hold it and trace shit because I gotta repaint that. I dropped some paint down there somewhere. The screw heads are too small on this, and it seems like it's not really doing anything. It seems like it's just making it look wet. Okay, so it is Thursday morning. I got some stuff in the other day, so I'm just out here before work, just real quick going through stuff. So these are magnets. I was with them a little bit the other day, but ends up not really getting worth them. So I'm gonna go ahead and keep doing some tests here to figure out exactly how I want these to hook up. Whether I want them to, the magnets to themselves are crazy strong, so I don't think I want to do magnet directly on magnet, because it would be impossible to get this like open, or once it was open, and try to close it. But then I have to try to figure out what the right kind of metal is that's gonna be strong enough to, hold it up there or keep it closed here, but not so strong that it's gonna, basically seal it shut. Also got the table legs in. Definitely not gonna have time for that this morning to be hooking table legs and stuff, but this weekend I can go ahead and figure out exactly where those are getting placed on here and the other parts on the boards and stuff, so I can get that taken care of and actually have tables in here finally. And then those are just some little cube storage things. I don't know what the hell they're actually called, but those things that everybody like sells now, the little like foldable kind of things, so I can go ahead and put those up there and kind of have stuff a little bit more organized. And that's just some more sealant that I ordered, that after I ordered it I found more sealant, and now I don't even know what else I would have to seal really, so I just have it. Maybe I'll use it a little bit along the crack there, but otherwise, I don't know where else I'm going to really put it, so I just have it. Alright, so I got a couple minutes here, so I'm going to go ahead and mess around with these magnets, see if I kind of figure anything out. Probably won't actually be hooking them up, permanently this morning, but at least I can try to figure out a plan as far as how I want to actually do it. So I don't know for sure if this is how I'm going to do it. It's kind of hard to test it, but the magnets are so strong that they stick to each other even through this hunk of wood here. So I might end up just doing it like this, basically having magnet on the inside. This one won't actually be on here, it'll be on the ceiling, and then that way I can push it up and boom, it'll link up and hold open. And then I'll have to have a magnet on the outside over here and a magnet on here, and that way it can stay closed. But I don't want to do, it would be nice if I could have a magnet right here, and then I only need a total of 3 magnets for each door. But if this magnet touches another magnet here, it's not coming apart. It's crazy trying to get these things apart. But yeah, so, and they're so thin that I don't even think I'm gonna have to like really drill anything out to make them like sit flush along the door, because you can see this, or it doesn't even look like anything's changed. Like, it's basically exactly the same like it used to be. So I'm probably gonna go with that. It's just hard to test to see if it's strong enough to hold it, because it's so thin that you can't really get that great of a grip on it to try to lift it. But you can see, I'm not actually holding the wood there at all. I'm just holding the magnet and it's lifting it. But it's just hard to lift it without, just like trying to lift the whole magnet off, because it's so thin there's nothing to really hold on to. So yeah, I don't know. That might be what I go with. It would be nice to use something different though, because these magnets are a little bit pricey, and the most that they come in is like a 16 pack, and I have to do all these different doors here, both magnets to hold it closed and open, and then I'm also going to need to use something on the cabinets, the doors that are here to keep them closed. Don't really have to worry about keeping them open because they're going to swing sideways, and same thing over here. So it would be nice if I could use, instead of using magnet on magnet like this, I could use like a magnet on a screw. Then I would basically save myself half the magnets. So I'm gonna try to test that out too. I'm not sure how I'm gonna test that out, but I'm gonna do something. Okay, so I tried out putting a screw in there and then having the magnet here, and it doesn't really do anything. Seems like when I was putting the magnet on there, it was mostly attracted to the metal using like the edge, but like the middle, not so much. I don't know why. So I'm gonna go ahead and try to figure out how to get this off here now. I put it on using the double-sided sticky tape thing that it came with, and I was hoping it was gonna work, but it is not. So I need to remove this now, so it's not stuck on here forever. Okay. So what I did here, I didn't actually put tape on anything over here. This one is like real, loose, easily swings open. So I wanted to test on this one to make sure that it definitely was being held closed. So as you can see, it's I mean, like I said, there's no tape on either magnets, and it just pulls it right shut if I lift it off there. But it's not so strong that like I'm ripping the wood apart trying to get it open or anything. So I think that's what I ended up having to do. So this one already got stuck over here because I was trying to test it, but I wanted to make sure because this one has a little bit more, it's a little bit tighter, so I wanted to make sure that was like being held shut by the magnet and not just by, the size of it. One of these, I think, was this one. No, maybe not. The other day I noticed one of them was having issues shutting, but maybe kind of worked that issue out. I was thinking I was going to have to cut off some more edge. I was going to be pretty mad about that, having to sand it and stain it and all that fun stuff again, but it seems like everything's fitting okay. This one's a little bit tight on this edge here, but that's alright. Seems like it'll be fine. So I think I have a little bit more time before work, so I'm going to go ahead and just test out sticking one on the outside here, making sure that gets held shut there, and then maybe I'll also mess with putting one on the other side and having it stay up there, and then at least I'll have one cabinet done there, and I will have a whole plan of how I'm doing everything else that I've done. Okay, so I hooked up this, and I thought it was going to be strong enough, and it's not. So I'm going to go ahead and take all these off as carefully as I can, especially on the ones that are on like the stains and painted stuff. And then I think what I'm going to have to do, I'm probably going to have to put them right up next to each other, but maybe put like some tape on them so they're not so strong that they get like completely stuck together. Like I'll show you here at this stack. I mean, to try to get them off, you have to try to slide. I mean, I used to use two hands like every time, but I mean, I'm showing you like that's like using like all the force of my thumb trying to slide that off of there. So and that's with these plastic rings in between even, so it's not even like it's directly touching the other magnets. So I'm gonna get the screwdriver and pry these off real quick, and then I think I might actually have to get ready to head off to work. But then at least now I know that this wood is too thick to be really sealing. I mean, not sealing, but making them stick that well together, especially for trying to hang it up there. So yeah, I'm gonna take them off and then figure out slightly different plan later. Alright, it's Friday morning before work, so I had something hooked up here, but so I need to use some actual like super glue, but this seems like it's actually gonna work. What I did was, I can get this off of here now. Let me show you. So they came with these little rings to basically keep them separated. So I took the magnet and put the ring on it, and I put duct tape on top of that so it all stays together. And then, yeah, so I just did that for each of them, because when I put just the magnets together, it was like way too strong. So this one, actually initially, this was staying up here and that was staying on there, and I could, open it. But this sticky stuff is kind of worn out because I kept sticking the stuff, ripping off, sticking stuff, ripping off. So I need to actually put some like glue on here, but it seems like it's gonna work. Not the most beautiful design ever, but definitely is way more effective than what I was trying yesterday with the, going through the wood to try to hold it up or hold it onto here. So yeah, so I think is what I'm basically gonna go with. I'm gonna have to pick up, I don't know if that wood glue will work. Maybe I'll just try it out, let it just sit on there all day, and then I'll see if it holds it on there or not. Yeah, so I'm gonna check some glue on the back of, I guess, this one. If this one ends up coming off at any point, then I'll put glue on that one as well. But right now it seems like it's only this one that's coming off, so I'll do that and get it, just let it sit on there all day. And then I might as well just start checking up a couple more. That electrical tape doesn't hold anything, so I'm gonna have to figure out something for this. I have the zip ties on here for the, this is for the lights going over to the other side. And the zip ties obviously are working, but this stupid electrical tape is not. So I'm gonna have to do something about that because that looks terrible just hanging there. Okay, so here I did this whole side. This one actually didn't add glue because it's new sticky stuff. So it actually just works really well. And I mean, you can even hear it close, so that's definitely on there. Only thing is, because there's 2 magnets plus the little plastic rings, ends up making like a little bit of a gap there. Nothing major where I'm worried about stuff falling out like that. I was considering trying to get the magnets to be like in the this post here, but I don't know how to do that. I have those circular bits that I use to cut out for the switches and things like that, but that would just make a circle, and unless I went all the way through, it wouldn't really be helpful because I would still need to take out the whole middle where it made that circle. So I don't know how to do that. I'm sure there's some kind of special tool for it, but yeah, I think it looks fine. Like I said, there is a little gap there, but nothing crazy. So this whole side is done. If this one ends up pulling off of this door and being stuck on that magnet, I'll just add some glue to it. These I haven't tried opening it because I want to give it time for that glue to dry before I start doing that. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and see if I can get a couple more done here before I have to leave. And yeah, so I'm going to end up needing to order more of these though, because I'm going to need to do the magnets then to keep these open. And this is going to use, I think, the majority of these just on keeping them closed, so I'm going to need another order of those. These bag things, I don't know what the hell they're called, storage organizers, are too tall. So like I tried putting it in here, and when I measured the inside, from that board there up there, and it will fit there. However, it doesn't fit through the the entrance here, basically with this board here, as well as the stuff up here. So it's not really useful, because then even if I get it in there, it's going to be a huge pain trying to get it back out of there every time that I need to get something that's in that little tote organizer, whatever the hell it's called. So I'm going to end up seeing if I can just return those and find something better for just being able to put stuff in and have it a little bit more organized, rather than just random stuff stuffed into drawers up here. Alright, so I'm going to grab some more magnets and work on down the line this way and see how far I got. Alright, it is Saturday morning. So some of the magnets I put up there, I didn't get all the way over here. I think I got those 2 done now, but they didn't stick to the door part, so I'm going to go ahead and just put glue on it like I did on some of these ones. And then I'm going to go ahead and just get right away started on this fun project back here, get that insulated and the wood up there and all that. Yeah, and then once I get that done, I can go ahead and go pick up the paint to paint over all that stuff. And yeah, I have to return these things at some point, and these are just random boxes that are smaller, so I'm hoping at least just temporarily I can just go ahead and get those up there while I figure out what I can get that's looks nicer like this, but actually will fit more properly up there. Alright, so I'm gonna go ahead and just get that wood and start working on that stuff. And it was saying it was gonna rain today, and now it's saying it's not gonna rain today, so I figure I'll just get that out of the way as soon as possible, and that way if it does start raining, I can just mess with the magnets and these boxes and things like that, or even if I finish that, I can get the paint and do the painting in here. So yeah, that's the game plan for the day. Okay, so I'm working on this first piece here. I have the phone plugged in right now, so I'm trying to get this door, so I can cut out around all that junk. trying to get the curve that's up there that you can't see, and it's just a pain in the ass, like cutting basically everything for the van because everything's curved and has stupid shit in the way. So yeah, I'm just gonna keep cutting until I finally get it to fit right. Okay, so this piece has been just driving me crazy. I just keep cutting and cutting, and I try to hold it up here, and basically it's, you know, going along here, up and over, and then this edge is so small here that basically either ends up trying to go up on this black part or falling down here while I'm trying to hold it and trace shit. It's just been driving me crazy. So the original plan was to have, you know, the board basically somewhere around here probably would have ended, and then have another slice of that extra board going along to finish it, and then the same kind of thing over here, the full board and a little bit extra to finish it. But it's just too much of a pain in the ass trying to hold it up vertically like this. So what I'm thinking is instead just take it and go across this way, and then do like another piece up here, however many pieces I need. I don't know, I haven't really measured it or figured it out, but and that way I think the angles will be a lot easier to deal with. I don't know, I could be wrong. So I think I'm just going to switch to doing that because I'm getting like nowhere with this. I'm ready to take this board and just smash the shit out of it because every time I'm trying to hold it up here, it just wants to constantly slide down, slide up, slide over this way, over that way. And so I can't even get like an accurate tracing to know like what to cut next. So I think I'm just going to go ahead and just start at the bottom here and just work my way on up. I will need to figure out the door situation. Well, these are the doors, but basically in order to get an accurate, you know, measurement over here, I want the doors to be closed. But right now this is blocking over here somewhat, especially this part here. So I might end up needing to like have this door open and this one closed. I don't know if the doors can even do that because this is the one that normally you close first. We'll have to figure out if I can close just that one. Yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and just switch to doing that. I might need to pick up some more pieces of these woods in order to more pieces of this wood to actually finish it. But if it ends up being easier, then fuck it, I don't care. I'd rather buy another piece or two of this wood and get it done way quicker than dealing with the headache of trying to hold it up there and then having to do basically all over again, hold it up vertically to get the extra little piece, and then all over again and all over again. So I'm gonna go ahead and try this, see if it's easier. Okay, so that first piece is on there. I'm gonna go ahead and chuck some insulation behind there. Should be pretty easy just where it ended up there. There's that gap, so I should be able to slide some stuff right back there. And then I'll get to work on the next piece there. Okay, so I got both in here. I gotta throw in some more screws in it, but they're insulated. This top one took forever. Once again, dealing with cutting out around all that stuff. But at least it's all in there now. So yeah, I'm gonna put a couple more holes in, add those screws. Then I'm probably going to take a break and then go ahead and deal with the next pain in the ass door. Okay, so I added another screw over there. Everything else looks good other than this middle part. This top one is sticking out further than the bottom one. So when that happened on this door, these are actually separated by one of those, you know, like ridges that sticks out. So I was able to just, you know, put a screw in and it was fine. But here, there's nothing actually there. It's basically, you know, overall mostly just a big open area like that, so I can't add anything, but I'm gonna do that sealant stuff, that white stuff, and I'll fill in all this. I'll also throw some on that door as well. So yeah, I think I'm actually just gonna grab that right now, and actually I'll just wait until I get the other door done because I'm gonna end up getting covered in sealant, so I might as well just do it all at once. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and take a break from this. And then I'll come back out, and as long as it doesn't start downpouring, deal with this next fun project here. Okay, so this one I got up there. It was pretty quick and easy process. So I'm gonna go ahead and just do the same thing, put some insulation back there. It's just grossly humid today. I don't think I have any pieces now big enough to do that top portion. I have a bunch of smaller pieces, but as you can see, that takes up a good amount of the board that, you know, then gets cut off. So I don't think I have anything big enough for that. So I'm gonna end up having to, after I put that insulation in there, go ahead and run over to Lowe's and pick up, I guess, one more sheet of whatever the hell size wood this was. and then I can put in the last pain in the ass piece, dealing with the curve going around there and going around all this stupid crap. And then once that's in and the insulation on there, that's all good. I can go ahead and also pick up the paint that I'm going to need to do all that, along with painter tape, because I still don't have any of that and I don't want to use more electrical tape and get weird marks all over the place. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and get that insulation in there, get cleaned up, and I guess it'll be time to hit the road and get the loads. Okay, so that one is fully in there with the insulation. So I definitely got to hit it with that sealant stuff on here. So I'm going to do the sealant on these as well as go over here. I'm not sure how long it's going to take for all that to dry, but once it is dry, I can go ahead and work on the painting. I picked up some paint while I was at Lowe's. But yeah, I don't know how long of a process that's going to be. But yeah, see what happens. Okay, so I did the sealant. I thought this was going to be the hardest one because it had such a big gap over here. But actually, everything's looking fine. Obviously this has to dry for a little while. This one, because it comes out, has been a pain. It was all filled in there. You can see you're already just grabbing the camera and coming over here. There's 2 holes that popped up there. So I'm going to let that one dry. Hopefully it doesn't sag down too much, and it'll just dry up and I can fill in whatever little holes are left. And then this one over here, pretty easy. There wasn't much going on there, and then I just filled in all the cracks going around there too. So yeah, so that's it. So I'm going to go ahead and get this cleaned off here, and then while I wait for all that, I might come out and start messing around with some of those magnets, getting that going. And yeah, whenever that stuff dries and I patch up all those holes over there, I can go ahead and do that painting. Alright, it is Sunday morning, so it is time to work on finishing up these magnets. I got them all on here, but this one needs glue, and this one needs some more glue. I actually put glue on it at first before I even tried just the sticky stuff, which then I realized was a bad idea because then it was just sliding down, as you can see. So I'm going to add glue on that one, and I think all the other ones are good now. Let me see. Yeah. So, going to add glue to that, work on the painting, obviously, for the door stuff, so that's taken care of. Yeah, these are all good now. Yeah. And also work on the table leg things. It looks like it might rain, so it's kind of, I really don't need to do anything outside. I can basically just do everything in here as far as painting and the magnets, the table legs, all that. So that's nice in case it does rain. And then I just have to work on just ordering the fridge and stuff. That's basically going to go over here. So that way, once everything comes in, I can go ahead and kind of put it in place and make sure that when I'm building out the cabinets, each one, whatever the biggest thing, like the composting toilet, the propane tank, the fridge, make sure everything large is going to fit where it needs to fit, and then just have the cabinets built according to that, and then anything little can just fit wherever then. But I need to make sure that those things fit, because if it turns out like, oh, I'm half an inch too short for fitting the fridge in there, now I have to like take apart the whole cabinet thing I built here and redo it all. So yeah, I'm just gonna wait until that stuff comes in before I start that. So yeah, it's probably gonna be kind of a light day, just magnets, painting. I might as well do the touch up on the floor stuff, since I don't have like a ton of stuff to do. And then the biggest thing's probably just gonna be messing with these table legs, trying to make sure that everything's all centered. It's centered on the table, it's centered in a good spot there where everything will fit together. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and get that glue out and finish up those last 2, and then it'll be time. I guess I might as well just break out the paint and get that going so it can just start drying. Alright, so everything's all taped up here, going around. I didn't bother taping anything up here, so hopefully I don't smack into the bit of ceiling there, or down there, but I just did the edges where the wood is like butting right up against stuff, and then I went along here because I'm not worried about this side so much, but this side kind of goes right up against it. So I take that off, and then all this stupid junk up here. So I'm gonna go ahead and get that paint open, and I'm just gonna do the same thing that I've done before, just using the paper towels to wipe it so it's thinner, so you can still see, the wood grain or whatever. But it's think I took the paint. Oh, here it is. So it's that color right there, like a nice light blue. I'm actually gonna real quick tape that door off as well, just so it's done. But I'll probably just leave it open to keep the air flowing in here because it's already hot and humid today. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and put tape around whatever I gotta do here, and then I can just open back up, do the paint back here, and then close it and paint that. But luckily the fan's going, the windows are open, so still some airflow in here. Alright, so that first side is done there. Not much to say about it, just I'm glad that I waited to do the final touch-ups on everything because I gotta repaint that. I dropped some paint down there somewhere. So yeah, I'm definitely gonna do all this blue first, and then I'll go ahead and do the touch-ups on the white and the stain and all that stuff. But otherwise, yeah, just painting just the same way, basically. I didn't even bother getting a paintbrush for the blue or like cleaning one out or anything, because I figure if I'm just gonna use the paper towels anyway to spread it out, I might as well just put it on the paper towel and just put it right on there. And that seems to be working fine. So yeah, I'm just going to do the exact same thing over there and then on the other door, and that'll be it for the blue painting. Okay, so there's both sides done there. So I'm going to go ahead and close up the side door here and get going with all that stuff. And then the time to touch up, as you can see, there's definitely some blue paint getting all over down there on the wall over here, so that shouldn't be hard to cover up. I'm hoping this isn't too bad. I know covering up those weird dark scratches didn't really work out, but this I feel like is a little bit lighter than those scratches, so maybe I'll be able to hide it. But yeah, I'm just gonna let this stuff dry and then peel off all this tape, and we'll see how much paint I have all over the place. I know there's some on it over here because it looks like it gets off the tape there. But yeah, just gonna let it dry and start working on this one. Okay, so all that is done. Took the tape off, everything's all dry. I think it's looking really cool. So I'm gonna go ahead and just get started with these legs so I can get that out of the way. Get those boxes out of here. And then, I mean, it's just baking out here is so hot. It's disgusting. So I'm gonna try to get that done. And then I might get to the painting and staining hopefully today, all the touch-ups. But it's just so damn hot. Even with like the doors open, fan running, windows open, the sun is just beating down. There's no shade, and it's just not. It's actually the van itself is probably like the coolest spot right now because inside here it's at least like shaded. But the second I walk out that door, it's just brutal out there. Okay, so here's the table leg situation. So there's the legs themselves, and then this is what goes on the floor, this is what goes on the table. Only one of them came with any screws, and there's only 6 screws. So I don't know what's going on with that. You need a lot more than 6 to install even just one of these. I'm also not sure, yeah, I don't know where they came up with the number 6 even, because this has 6, but this one has, looks like 5 spots to put screws in. Yeah, I don't know. So I guess I'm just going to use my own screws. Hopefully the heads on them are big enough to do what they need to do here with these pretty giant freaking holes to fill in there. So I'm going to do some measuring, try to figure out exactly where these are getting placed, and then just start screwing stuff in there. Okay, so I got this first one out here. So I basically just measured one way and then the other way, figure out where the center of the board is. So it should be just about there. Now I'm going to take this. This is the only thing I don't like about this set. I didn't realize this when I bought it. I knew that the ones on the floor were super flat, which I liked, so I wouldn't be like tripping over them or anything. I didn't realize how giant the ones that go on the other pieces are. So this is going to be, you know, on here, and then when it goes back here, basically I have the choice of either facing this towards the wall, so the whole board will stick out that far, or flipping it the other way, and that's sticking out from the wall. But yeah, I don't know. I wish they made both of them super nice and flat like that. That would be way better in my opinion, but that's how they made it, so that's what we're going with. So I am going to go ahead and use these little 1/2-inch screws in here, and put that on there, and then I have to figure out how I'm going to calculate the then halfway point on the floor in the same area here. I can mark that out and put the other piece on there, and then I can connect everything and then do the same thing over here, the board and the floor piece, and then hopefully I can have both tables set up right next to each other, basically looking like one big continuous table rather than either being super far apart or so close together that I can't have both up at the same time. So hopefully it ends up coming out the right way. Okay, so I put the piece under there on that one. This one is in here, however, the screw heads are too small on this, so it allows it to kind of move around even though I have them tightened down there. If I tighten them out, they just go like right through it. So I'm going to take those out and see if maybe like the 1-inch ones, maybe the head on that is a tiny bit bigger, and try those. Okay, so the 1-inch also just goes right through it. So I'm thinking I don't want to use anything crazy long because I don't want it to like end up going through like the metal floor. That packet that they sent. I mean, they only sent me 6 total screws to install 2 of these, and each one requires 11 screws, but I'm obviously not going to be using these for that because they would just absolutely go right through there. So I'm thinking maybe on one of these I'll put like, maybe I'll just put 3 of these big ones in each of the supports there. There's a little gnat just flying in my face. And then have just 2 other ones just in there, but I can at least do, you know, like 3 and then just 2 smaller ones and see if that works out. They're pretty hefty screws. Hopefully, like I said, they don't end up hitting the metal floor. I don't actually know what length these are, and I don't even remember how thick the floor is. I don't know if it's like 3/4 inch or what it is. But yeah, I don't know what else to try, so I'm gonna go ahead and see if these work out better. Okay, so I put those 3 big ones. This gnat is gonna get destroyed. So those are in there, and then I just popped this on top just to see it. So there it is. So number 1 is done. I won't really know for sure if I did everything right, if I get the other one in and it lines up, but so far it looks good. Yeah, so I'm basically just going to repeat the process of just measuring this out, figuring out where the middle is, which is going to be a little bit more awkward because one end is bigger than the other, so I'm going to have to figure out what I'm doing about that, and then just try to calculate where the middle is down here, and just start putting everything in there, see what happens. Alright, it is just disgusting out here with this humidity. So what I did here was I measured basically the length going across, which is like 23¼ inches, marked out the halfway point at this end, and then also did the same thing down at that end, and then made a line just connecting the 2 going all the way down, so that way I know this is the center point, and I can measure right here and do the halfway point there, and that way it should be good, as opposed to, you know, either doing the halfway point for the shorter length or for the longer length. So yeah, I have it backwards right now because I want to work with the bottom of the board, so that's why there's this gap here and all that. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and figure out, I think it was like 29 something inches, the length right now for this. So I'm going to figure out what the middle is, mark that off, and then I will be able to put on the next little thingamajig and then start working on the floor part and figure out that. Okay, so what I did for this one, after I got that on there, I just put everything on here, attached it all, and then just stood it up here. Obviously it can just stand on its own without actually being screwed in, just if it moved it would like fall over. And then I just lined it up. That one is actually a little bit taller because of the way the floor is over there, how that last piece is kind of angled so it's up higher. So there is a little bit of like an awkward gap there, but if you look from above, it lines up really nicely, where it's not like the pieces are on top of each other or far apart from each other with a big gap. So I'm happy with that, how it turned out. And then I just, so that basically took care of the, you know, depth going this way, knowing where to put it. And then I just measured there and there until I got it both to be basically the same exact number. So I'm gonna go ahead and just drill those holes. I'll put those last 3 big screws in there, and then 2 just the small screws just for the hell of it. And yeah, and then the tables will be done, and I can go ahead and either leave them up there or take them back down and just put them away, whatever. Yeah, so it wasn't actually too terrible. Just my brain is like melting from this heat, so it was just tough trying to think through this sometimes. I was sitting here originally, after I got this piece on, I was sitting here like measuring this side, then measuring this side for like the length to try to figure out where to put it. I couldn't figure out how to calculate it, because when I measured on the board, you know, I was able to measure right in the middle, whereas here I was like, I'm not sure where the middle even is, like, because this, you know, just this big gap here. So yeah, finally got it basically done. Just got to go ahead and put the screws in, and tables are done. Took forever to get the poles, but there they are. They're in there now. Okay, so that is all in there, all the screws. So boom, tables are done. I was considering, because of the heat, just calling it quits today, but I figure I already have blue paint all over me, so I might as well go ahead and touch up, you know, like these spots up here that I gotta fix with the stain and the stupid electrical tape. There's white paint down there on spots. There's blue paint somewhere down that way. I think there's also blue paint over here now too. I did get a bunch of drops. I don't know if you can see there with the shadow right there, but I got a bunch of blue paint on that grass, which I don't think I can really fix at this point. I think the blue paint just stuck there, so whatever. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and just break open the stain and white paint. I don't think I need to do anything else with the blue. When I was taking off the tape, I was seeing if like I missed any spots, you know, like if the tape was covering it a little bit, or if I just missed it because I fucked up and missed it. But you know, I don't remember seeing anything, so I think I'm good there. But definitely need to do some work with the white and the stain. So I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna have to get these out of the way. I don't know if I really. Well, yeah, if I gotta get anything up here, I will need to get them out of the way. So. Alright, so I'm going to get those open. I picked up some more paper towels. I don't remember where the hell I put them. But I actually used the final paper towel that I had for spreading the paint. I used on the last spot on that bottom board there. And I was like, man, good thing I had just exactly enough. Otherwise, if I would have ran out a little bit earlier, that would not have been good. I would have been having to go out, pick up paper towels, come back and finish the last bit of blue. So it kind of sucked. But yeah, I'm really happy with the way the blue came out, so it's time to just fix up everything else. Okay, so I did all the white touch-up spots. I think it went pretty well. There wasn't a whole lot to do. Obviously white is a tough thing to use to try to cover up stuff that's not white, because it's so light of a color, obviously. But it covered up stuff pretty well, like I said. So I'm trying to do some of the staining here now, and it seems like it's not really doing anything. It seems like it's just making it look wet, but it's not actually like getting rid of that. Like I would have thought this, you know, dark brown kind of stain, putting it over this white mark, it actually looks more noticeable now than it did before I did this. So I'm not sure what's going on there. I do see another spot looks like I might need to touch up. I'm not sure what the hell happened there, but it looks like there's like something brown along that piece of wood. So I'm going to check that out, and maybe I'll give this a couple seconds to dry here and see if anything changes. But yeah, like I said, this is like looks worse than it did before I did the stain. It like really just made it like pop out, like it's like really noticeable now. So I don't know. I don't know if I need to break out the brush and go a little bit heavier on it instead of just the paper towel. I don't know. We'll find out. Okay, so I went ahead and went through it again. I put it on pretty heavy, but then the issue is that then you notice instead of this weird white spot, you notice a really dark spot. So then I tried to wipe it down to, you know, lessen the thickness of the stain, and it just ends up looking the same. Just looks like it did before, just kind of wet. So I think I might just leave all that. I'll go check out, see what's on the other side back there, if I have to do anything. But all this stuff out here, I'm gonna check it in here. I'll try to real quick throw some on there, see if that does anything, but it seems like the stain isn't really going to do much to cover up my screw-ups there. So yeah, I don't know. I mean, just part of the vein now, I guess, because I don't know how else to get rid of that. So I mean, it's not a big deal. There's definitely worse things that could happen. Like if one of these cabinets just collapsed right now, that would be way worse than having this little mark on the floor. So I'm gonna go check the back, and I'll throw a little bit on here, and then I think that's pretty much it for today. I just gotta go order the fridge and all that stuff, like I said. So I gotta make sure I get that done, so as soon as it comes in, hopefully everything's in by next weekend and I can start messing with that. But as far as today, I don't think there's really anything else to do. Everything's kind of just in here. Yeah, so just have to let that stay on there and get cleaned up, and I guess that's it for this week.